Alright, another Tuesday stream, this time on the new Dress Up Clarissa. So let's begin. The first cards for the last few days, which also includes Dokkovan. So we start with the Dokkovan stuff. Here's a new lyrical card called Perfect Perfectionist Draw Cell. Grade 1, Iggy Power and Skills. Auto, when placed on rear guard, cost count +1, look at top 10 cards for your deck, choose up to one card with a Dress Up ability, reveal it and put it to your hand, and of course shuffle your deck. Basically a generic RNG searcher for your Persona ride for your Dress Up decks on the 5 original ride lines for lyrical. If you have the space, go ahead and run it in your own leisure. And now to the Dragon Empire anti-trigger unit, that being Battle Blaze Dragon Red XR Dragon, which is a grade 3 with 13 power and has the same burst skill like the rest of them, where count rearguard guardian during this turn. If your opponent drive checks or damage checks his trigger unit, this card gives 10k power and 10k shield. The unique skill is that auto rearguard. When this card attacks a Vanguard, cost counter +1, apply all the following. Choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire. If you do not retire, draw a card. And cost remove one over trigger from your drop zone during the battle. This card gives 15k power. This is pretty weak. So first off, it is nice that you could just pretty much retire one of your opponent's rearguards per turn, and if you can't retire, you do draw a card, so that isn't too bad. But the over trigger part is a little too weak in the comparison to the others, because at least those actually do something kind of a little bit game breaking. This one is just all mass power. This is still at least usable for the retire skill though, so run it in your own leisure if you have space. Next to a Brandgate double rare for a monster, wielding monster Radabalio. Grade 1 AK power and skills. Auto rearguard. When this unit boosts, cost soul +1 until the end of that battle. If the grades of set orders is 3 or more, this card gives us 5k power. If it's 5 or more, plus another 5k. 7 or more, plus another 5k. So basically 3 plus 5k, 5 plus 10k, 7 plus 15. It is an okay card to use, especially it is a monster. It's generic, but I don't see you having room to run this. And now to the Tuesday stream itself. So first off, we got some Bruce support or Final Burst support. The card being Diablo's Heavy Launcher Patrick. It's a grade 2 with 10k power and the skills count rearguard. If you are in Final Burst, this card gives us 10k power. Opponent turn as well. Not too bad, but the second skill where auto rearguard. When this card attacks a Vanguard, if you are in Final Rush, cost Soul Blast 1, choose one of your opponent's rearguards and move it to the Guardian circle. If you are in Final Burst, 2 instead. This is not too bad. This is just another way of force removal on your opponent, but do keep in mind that you are putting the cards to the Guardian circle during this card's attack. So meaning that could add shield value or even just block this card's attack. But hey, pretty nice removal, and soul is not a problem for the Final Burst Diablos deck. And now to the new Earnescorrect support, our first card being Earnescorrect Follower Payton. It's a grade 1 with 7k power and the skill is auto. When discard from hand, your Vanguard's Clarissa, cost counterblast 1, choose a grade 2 or less card with Earnescorrect that is not itself from your drop zone and put it to your hand, also on your opponent's turn as well. I remember that one Earnescorrect card where it tells you to discard a card for cost, so this part is kind of nice that it says opponent's turn as well, because that one lets you recover that lost Earnescorrect, and this one just basically adds it as an extra bonus. And what's also important is that you can recycle from drop zone, because Earnescorrect is very important with the pieces. There's ways to get it out from deck, but not from the drop zone. And also this is Earnescorrect, so that's another addition to Earnescorrect for more consistency. Next, Earnescorrect follower Nexella. It's a grade 2 with 10k power and the skill is act rearguard hand. If your Vanguard is Clarissa, cost count +1, put this card to soul, choose one of your Vanguards and it gets this ability until the end of the turn. Auto Vanguard. When this card attacks, if you played aim to be the strongest idol this turn, choose one of your rearguards and stand it. So basically this card gives Clarissa another multi-attack skill when they already have a card that can multi-attack on attack hit, which Clarissa will usually do because it attacks multiple units at the same time. What's also nice is that since this is Earnescorrect, this also puts in as an Earnescorrect count, but you can also play this skill from hand. And sometimes by chance you will have a full field, so just by working from hand is just an added bonus right there. Finally, Holy Egg Festival Praxis Committee Chef Clarissa. Damn, that's a long ass title. First off, it's a dress up is for Earnescorrect leader Clarissa, so meaning it still counts as the original, and it's a grade 3 with 13 power and the skill is act Vanguard. Once per turn, if you Persona ride this turn, you can pay this cost with Soul Blast 1 instead. But the actual part of the skill is cost, discard a grade 3 Clarissa from your hand, search your deck or drop zone for aim to be the strongest idol, reveal it and put it to your hand. If you search your deck, shuffle it of course. The biggest upside from this to the original is that this one can recycle and straight up search your deck as well. And it's not even a once per game type thing. That is a really big deal right there. The only downside is that on the first grade 3 ride, you of course have to discard a grade 3 Clarissa, which you now have 2 different Clarissas, but not sure if you will be running both of them, because just with this first skill alone, this one is pretty much obviously better. And you only have 4 copies of Aim to be the strongest, so just keep that one in mind as well. Now the second skill where Auto Vanguard once per turn, when this card attack hits, draw 2 cards, and all your rear cards that are Earnescorrect gets plus 5k power in the end turn. So there's an up and down for this and the original. The original is not once per turn. Sure, that one is draw 1 for each hit, but you can hit up to 3 there, and the power gain is to 1 of your units for each hit, but this one just straight up give it to all your units. The power, but it's only limited to 2 draws. That is a pretty good trade-off because that one relies on how many hits you can make, and sometimes your opponent doesn't really have much of a board. This one, regardless how many you hit, it doesn't matter. You still get to draw 2, and you still give all your Earnescorrect power. The hit will usually likely happen considering that you're also targeting rear guards as well, unless your opponent doesn't have rear guards. But yeah, overall, this one is pretty much just straight up better than the original, and I'll probably end up playing this over the original if I do run Clarissa, which I am not. But still pretty cool. So that's it for the new Earnescorrect support with Clarissa. What do you guys think of it? Honestly, pretty nice support. We got more Earnescorrect, which is really nice as we need that. The other part is more added skills to your Clarissa, and the new Clarissa is definitely pretty strong considering that this one straight up give all your Earnescorrect units extra 5k just by hitting just 1 unit, while also not even being a hard once per game search for your main order card. And what's also nice about this one is that you can recycle the order card as well. Very important. But other than that, that's it for this, and see you all next time.